My name is Connie, and I'll be your host today. So, in this episode, we will be joined by Meow, co-founder at Jupilar, to discuss the fascinating ecosystem of Jupilar Exchange and its DAO. Jupilar is a decentralized exchange aggregator on Solana, offering a range of exchange services like swaps tools, payments API for specifying output token amounts, limit orders, dollar cost averaging, DCA, perps, and launchpad options. They provide integration support for decentralized exchanges, DEXes through the Jupilar terminal, and guidelines for token feasibility on the platform. Now, Jupilar is now the most used trading platform in DeFi and liquidity infra for crypto. Jupilar recorded a spot trading volume of $78 billion and perps trading volume of $31 billion just in Q1 2024. So thanks for joining us today, Meow, and welcome. Meow, before we get started, can you tell us a bit more about your background and the journey that led you to Jupilar?
Hey, Connie, thank you. I use crypto.com too, so it's good to be here.
Awesome.
So I think I started in crypto. I think I started crypto thinking about in about 2016, 17, and I was thinking really hard about. I met my good friend in San Francisco, right? I think the main thing that actually we were discussing when we started crypto, right, was not really about the price, right? But really, we started brainstorming many different systems, right? Like remittances and exchanges and the Visa card systems and settlement systems and everything. And then we were thinking really hard about like how and why crypto can actually be useful, right? Actually be used to replace some of the key financial systems we have today, right? So I think that was kind of how we got started. And I think since then, I first started doing a lot of stuff in the Ethereum space. I was advisor to I started a portfolio, Kyber, Instadet, and I also started WTC while on the Ethereum side of things, right? And then I've been working in Jupilar for like 4 years now, around there. Yeah. So that's actually so that's a brief background of like what my initial interest in crypto was. And also what my what I did early on. Yeah.
That's super interesting. So just we've got a lot of questions for you today about Jupilar, the network, your token, and your future plans. So Jupilar's future plans. So shall we just get right into it now? Firstly, I think you already covered this a little bit, but first, can you tell our audience about Jupilar, its origins, and how it's different from other DEXes?
Sorry, I'm back.
No worries.
I was just sending a message to my community. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Awesome. I think I think Jupilar is I think we see Jupilar. First of all, I think Jupilar is the most used trading platform. We actually have probably the most comprehensive trading platform across all DeFi. From swap to limit order to DCA to VA to perps to launchpad, right? I think, and then also secondly, I think we also have the most powerful and fastest swap integration in crypto. I mean, our swap engine aggregates and refreshes like every 10 seconds. Every 0.4 seconds, right? And also aggregates across like extremely wide range of liquidity providers. So it's definitely, and we spent about 3 years building that aggregation up. So I think it's actually pretty good. The second thing, the second thing that I think is that we also had the first decentralized end-to-end launchpad. That means that the whole process, right, whether it is at the start, to the end and stuff, is actually completely decentralized. The community decides what the community discusses. There's an extremely active debate, right, about what projects are on it. The community decides the DAO votes on who gets to ship on it. And the whole process is decentralized. Yeah. So I think that's actually the second thing. Yeah, and then thirdly, I think we also have a number of like unique features that I think no other platform has. For example, we have our DCA and limit order, like dollar cost averaging, and our VA system, right? Which is actually I think it's probably the first widely used implementation, right? DCA implementation, right, in crypto. And lastly is that I think what differentiates us is our community. I mean, I really genuinely think we have like the best community, right? In crypto, because they're so positive and supportive and awesome, right? And just like extremely encouraging and positive, not to the team, to the project, to each other, right? And the key important to each other, you know. And yeah, I'm actually very I think yeah, I'm actually extremely happy with that. Yeah. So I think those are things that we makes me very happy. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I totally agree that the Solana community is super strong, passionate, and supportive in many ways. So just how does Jupiter work and what are its key product features?
Jupiter, so Jupiter has, as I mentioned before, Jupiter has several products, right? You know, right? So one of our key products is like the swap aggregation. That means that that means that you have like that means that you have about that means that you know that many DEXes on Solana, right? You know, it becomes extremely hard to know like what's the best price. You know, I also kind of like also to rock between all of them. So I think that's actually one thing that we do, right? We actually we call like the Jupe promise, right? Okay, best price, best token selection, and best UX, right? That means that we allow you to trade across any number of we can allow you to trade across like all these access on Solana with a single transaction, and it's extremely cheap, right? And extremely fast. And we also work extremely hard to get all the tokens available on Solana into one place. Yeah. So that's actually what we do. That's just one thing that we do. Yeah. And the other thing that we do is perps. We have one of the most used perps protocol in crypto. Yeah. And yeah, and then we also launch pad as mentioned earlier. Yeah.
That's super amazing. So I think you shared a bit already, but would you want to elaborate further, share a bit about the growth of Jupiter and some of the latest milestones that Jupiter has achieved with the audience here today?
No, I think in Q1, I think that's our Q1, right? I think Q1 we did about I think Q1 we did about 78 billion in we facilitated about 78 billion in spot volume, and then we did about 31 billion post volume, and then we also have about 3 million unique users so far. Yeah, in Q1 alone, right? Yeah, I think we have got to the point where I think but mostly honestly though, I'm just like honestly though, okay, I'll be honest here, right? It's like there's so many ongoing issues, right? So I think for me, I think what I'm going to really excited about the next few months is like just getting a lot of the internal engineering systems are running, right? I also fixing a lot of the issues that we have around like fixing a lot of issues that we have around like the like oracles and everything. So I think yes, I think we hit a lot of milestones, but honestly, from my point of view, I think I'm really focused at this moment on like both on both like on but with the scale, you know, we grew really fast, right? With volume and users and everything, right? And then also number of tokens in Solana also grow really fast as well, right? So yeah, I think so yeah, I have to fix all those. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. So those are milestones, but with those milestones there are a lot of issues. So have to fix those issues. You know? Yeah. So to anyone who's watching this, and so just one question, one thing is to anyone who's watching this, and you're facing recently you're facing points of platform, I'm really sorry. We're working really hard to fix them. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a process involved, and you guys keep building, which is great. So we also came across accelerating the meta. Can you tell us more?
Let's go, meta, let's go.
Can you tell us more about that and its mission?
Yeah, I think the meta, right, is a world where it's our articulation, right? You know, for a world where everyone actually uses well, decentralized finance is a key part of everyone's daily rules, right? And what does that mean? It means three things, right? Number one, it means that everyone actually uses crypto daily, right? You know, whether for payments, or remittances or anything, right? You know, right? And the second thing that the meta means is a world where everyone actually like accesses decentralized markets, right? You know, whether it's like forex or stables or the investments, they use decentralized markets, right, for all their like asset needs, right? And third thing is that we think of meta is also a world where everyone actually uses decentralized financing for their needs, right? Whether it's starting a company, like getting a car or anything, right? So I feel like that's actually the thing that we are gonna that's actually how we think about the meta, right? Yeah, a meta is a world where everyone uses crypto, uses decentralized markets, and uses decentralized financing for their needs. And it's actually really important to differentiate a world, right, where people use crypto and or just own crypto. Now, for example, if the whole world actually owns Bitcoin, right, but they own it via but they're not using a Bitcoin wallet, okay, they're using they bought it through the ETF. Then in that case, we are really far from the meta, right? Because we're really far from the meta because that means that because then Bitcoin has just become another asset that's basically controlled, right? By the masses, by central systems. Yeah. So that's actually why I think it's really important to kind of start pushing, right, the idea and narrative that the world needs to be moving towards like decentralized use cases. Yeah.
Definitely. Can you share more about its components in this meta? For example, GM, GDSC, and GUM, and share a bit of details for each of them as well?
Yeah, for sure. So I think for us, we, as I mentioned earlier, right? I think we want to see this world happen, right? We want to see a world where it's actually truly on decentralized rails, right? Not just owning crypto, right? But actually using crypto. So I think in that regard, I think what we're doing is that I think we are playing a role in it, right? So what's Jupiter gonna do, right? So Jupiter is gonna do three things, right? I think we kind of frame it as like three different components, right? The first component is like GM, right? Kind of grid migration. And the whole idea is very simple: critical mass, right? Critical mass, right? Because honestly, it's like decentralized finance is actually many parts of decentralized finance, right? It's almost like social network, right? It's like, for example, like that. There's no way you can actually use like Facebook or Twitter or anything, right? Before this critical mass of users, right? Same thing. People are asking. So same thing. It's like people are asking about. Same thing. Like people are asking a lot about people are asking a lot about like, oh, why don't we do like why don't we do why aren't people using crypto for remittances and payments and everything, right? It's just quite simple. There's not a critical mass, right? If you don't have a critical mass of people all using decentralized systems, right, like decentralized wallets, right, decentralized mechanisms, and they're all familiar how to use finance in a decentralized way. So in that case, you can't actually. That's the point. You can't actually get to the point. There's no critical mass of users, right, to actually facilitate things like payments and remittances and everything. Yeah. So I think that so for us, we think it's actually really important to facilitate this migration, right? So I think for us, we just announced the Jupiter Mobile, right, which is like our effort to which will place a massive amount of efforts in, right, in getting it into like tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, right, and actually daily users, right? Because we think that if we actually have a critical mass of users actually using, again, I had to emphasize like crazy, right? Using crypto, not just owning crypto. Huge difference between using crypto and owning crypto, right? Yeah, so I think so that's our effort, grid migration, right? And our main engine there will be the mobile Jupiter Mobile. Okay, yeah. And the second thing is GUM, right, which is the giant unified market. And the whole idea for that market is that we want to get as many different assets as possible, right, across all the different use cases. For example, like forex or stables or commodities or stocks or meme coins or wrap tokens and everything, right, into one place, right? And because Solana is already a giant state machine, and Jupiter is already extremely good at transacting across all of them and stuff, right? So I think if we push on the idea, then then actually you can go from anything to anything, right? You can go from to basically really try to go for the any token anywhere vision, right? Whereby you can go from like Bong to you can actually withdraw Philippine pesos, right? With Bong, or for example, you can actually buy Lambo with WAN, right? Or you can vote for Biden with Biden, So I feel like that's actually a lot of So I think the second thing is that the second G, right? It's basically the giant unified market, and it's kind of the wet dream of finance because you can't do that, right, on centralized systems. You can't, right? There's no way to build a giant unified market on centralized systems, because centralized systems are by default centralized and closed. Each market is enclosed and locked in, right? So so it's actually one of the so it will actually really be a really big deal for DeFi, right? You can actually get all these markets in one place. Yeah. And we think that Jupiter and Solana is a good place to start this movement. Yeah. And then the third thing that we're working on, the third G, the GDSE, the Global Decentralized Stock Exchange. Yep. Why? So why is it important for me? I think it's important for me because, as mentioned earlier, I think we need to expand the scope of crypto. So right now, crypto, right, is really good at virtual asset creation, right? For example, guys, think about it, right? I have think about it. I love Jupe, right? Jupe is great. I think everyone should Jupe, right? Jupe is the token. I mean, the token is amazing, right? But I can't eat it, right? I can't eat it. I really can't eat Jupe, right? It's a virtual asset. Same thing as well. Michael Saylor loves Bitcoin. Okay, I think I'm convinced he loves Bitcoin. Okay, the guy's amazing, but he can't eat Bitcoin, right? He can't eat Bitcoin. He has to eat something else, right? So basically, what I'm saying here is that like we have gotten extremely good at virtual asset creation, but then we are as an industry, right? We are not really impacting real world productive industries yet, right? We are not really helping the means of production yet, you know, to quote some philosophy terms. So I think what's actually really important here is that crypto starts to finance. So I think the easiest thing for us to help in the regard, right, is for crypto to start financing real world production. Okay, like I say again, I think the important thing here is that crypto needs to start financing real world production. So we need to move from like pure like virtual asset creation, you know, to also financing like real production, right? So that's actually what I think. And to do that, I think, I think we are doing the third G, right? The GDSE, the Global Decentralized Exchange, where our goal is to kind of like, you know, where our goal is to actually help off-chain companies list on chain. And why is that good? Think about it, because oh, sorry. Okay, someone is saying I talk too fast. So sorry, guys. When I get super excited, I talk really fast. Okay, I know I don't really speak that well, so also sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, but to the point is that it's a global, and why do we want to help off-chain companies list on chain? Okay, the reason is very simple. Is that if you think about it, right, what is crypto really good at? Crypto is really good at three things, right? Crypto is really good at global financing, like getting everyone around the world to finance things, right? The second thing that crypto is really good at is that it's actually really good at creative capital formation. There is that you can actually form the infinite number of ways for you to form capital, right? You know, and the third thing that crypto is actually really good at, is around community building, right? Crypto is amazing at community building, right? I mean, if you see meme coins, right? Meme coins are amazing. Meme coins form communities who are all passionate about certain symbol, right? And speed of light, right? It's actually freaking amazing. So I think crypto is really good. So I think in summary, crypto is really good at like global financing, global financing, community, like on-chain community building, and creative capital formation. And guess what? These are all three things that if you're a good off-chain company, you will love, right? You will love creative ways of forming capital. You will love community, and then you will love to raise from the entire world, right? So these are all things that people are going to be really. So yeah, so that's what we'll do. So GDSC is our effort to actually build a global decentralized stock exchange, whereby our goal is, so we are starting a pilot this year, that we're going to bring 2 off-chain companies on-chain, list on-chain. Yeah. And we're looking for great companies and good auditor to do so. Yeah. So that's the goal. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm super excited to hear about this Global Decentralized Stock Exchange, GDSE. What are the future plans with it?
Well, honestly, I think the main thing is, right, I think for both the Great Migration, the GAM, and the GDSE, right, it needs to be we need to be patient. Okay, guys, okay, everyone who's watching this now in future, the keyword is patience. Patience. Okay, like Web2 took a long time to get to where it was, right? It actually really wasn't that easy. Okay, like getting, I mean, we use Instagram today, right? And we go, amazing, it's great, so easy, Web3 needs to be so easy, right? But dude, come on, man, you know what started way back? Like BBS forums, man, Usenet, right? Those things are completely unusable. Trust me, back then, the advocates of Web 2 were also saying, right? Oh, we need to be more user friendly. No one's going to come on these things, right? It's the same conversation. So every technology follows that curve. Okay, every technology follows that curve. It always takes a while to get to the mainstream for the different technologies and systems and people to be aware of things, right? So I think for us, so that's the first thing, right? For us, I think the main thing there is to actually be patient. You know, whether it's a group migration or the GAM or GDSC. So specific of GDSC, right? Besides my plan is called turning out to be patient. Okay, but also I think but concretely I think we need a new level of trust. We need really good companies to trust their financing futures to be on chain, right? The second thing that we need and the second thing that we need is that we also need a new sub auditors who are comfortable with bridging the off chain and the on chain systems, right? And also obviously community trust. And ideally, the auditor can also stake something, right? So they lose it if their system if their anything goes on the auditing. And thirdly, we also need a very good listening forum, right? Which I think Jupiter can build. So I think where a listening forum that everyone trusts, right? Because the listening venue called GDSC is gonna be something that both the option companies, community, and the auditors can trust. So I think that's actually going to be an extremely important component as well. Yeah. So we're going to look for two companies this year, okay, to start the pilot with. Yeah. So that's the next step, and then from there we can start building a well trust.
That's amazing. We'll look out for details on it on your socials. So you touched upon this earlier about the Jupiter mobile app, and would love to hear more about it. Can you share more information about the Jupiter mobile app and if there's any plans for it to be on the Solana phone?
Sorry, I'm looking at my Discord now. Cool, awesome. Sorry, a question again?
That's okay. So you
my community is very active on Discord, so I'm checking it out. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. This is interactive stream.
Yeah, because I see the YouTube comments, but I don't see my Discord comments, so I'm just checking it out. Yeah, you saying, sorry?
Right. Okay. That's fine. So you touched upon the Jupiter mobile app earlier, and just would love to hear more about it. So can you share more about the Jupiter mobile app and if there's any plans for it to be on the Solana phone?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, Zero Packs, I love you, and everyone on the YouTube, I love you as well. And Boo.Crow and Zero OG Crypto Daniel, I love you too. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I think for the mobile app, I think the goal is very simple. We believe that trading, right, is the main use case that is going to bring people onto decentralized finance, right? We know there's a lot of conversations about GameFi and SocialFi being like the main drivers of like usage, right? But I honestly though, I think it's actually very simple. I think it's trading, right? But I think trading would be the, because I think trading is the first use case that everyone uses. It's the most important use case, right? It's the most and also I think there's a degen in all of us, right? I think there's it in all of us that loves to loves to be investing and understanding and learning about all these assets, right? So I think Jupiter Mobile is and secondly, mobile is obviously where it's at. I mean, I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of time on mobile, right? In my bed, in my sleep, in the bathroom, I'm always on my mobile, right? So so we think we want to bring. So I think our Jupiter Mobile will be our attempt to really bring to build the most streamlined possible experience possible onto where the users are. And to the extent that a few things, right? First of all, it's zero fees, so you can trade all you want. We also emphasize a lot on auto configuration. So like you don't have to worry about things that normally you worry about when trading in DeFi, right? You don't worry about seepage. You don't worry about gas. You don't worry about retries. So I think there's a large number of things that users would find confusing while trading. Try to get away, right? And thirdly, is that it's also going to be very focused on Solana. So we're not going to have a lot of different systems. Yeah, it's gonna be very focused on Solana. Yeah, so that's what I said. Yeah. And so we think that so yeah, Jupiter Mobile is going to be our attempt, and we're going to obviously invest a lot in it. So yeah, so Jupiter Mobile is going to be our attempt to really bring tens of millions or hundreds of millions of users onto decentralized finance, right? Not just, again, keyword, not just owning crypto, but using crypto. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's like the key idea there. And then yeah, your Solana Mobile, yeah, for sure. I think will definitely be usable on the Solana Mobile as well.
Awesome. So you mentioned accelerating the meta before. Now, we're curious about what the Meta Acceleration Fund is and what type of projects you're planning to support with this fund.
Yeah, I think three things, right? I think the Meta Acceleration Fund is literally the Meta Acceleration Fund, right? So our Meta Acceleration consists of three Gs, right? The grid migration, the giant unified market, and also the GDSE. Okay, so the grid migration will consist of the mobile adoption, right? So the main thing will actually be the mobile adoption, getting more users onto our mobile, right? The second thing is GAM. So the giant unified market, well, our goal is to get as many assets as possible, right, onto Jupiter and Solana. So for example, so that will actually be the main thing, right? Is that how do we kind of bootstrap? And again, markets need bootstrapping, right? So how do we actually leverage our assets to help to bootstrap these markets, right, onto Jupiter? So we'll be looking into setting up markets, everything, yeah. And thirdly, the third thing you'll support is that you will support the GDSE, right? Yeah, how like bootstrap, because that thing will need bootstrapping as well. Whether it's providing sufficient incentives for auditors to come on, right, or for companies to come on. Yeah, so that's the main thing. So actually, so the Meta Acceleration Fund will support those three things. We'll support the adoption of mobile, the bootstrapping of the GAM, and also the kickstarting the GDSE. So that's actually the Meta Acceleration Fund. And one thing real quick is that I think someone OG Crypto Daniel is saying that let's ask hard questions. Yeah, just throw it there. I mean, I don't know how just throw questions in the YouTube or Discord. I'll check it out. You know? Yeah.
Sure. If there are any more questions like that the community would ask, please put it on the live stream chat, and we'll try to ask it. We've still got a few more questions for you that we've planned, so we'll ask those first. I saw a lot of comments actually, even in this chat box, about the Jupe token. So let's ask about the Jupe token. What is the Jupe token, and what are its utilities in the Jupe ecosystem?
Jupe token is the Jupe token, right? Okay, so the way the way I communicate it, right, is that the way I communicate it is that Jupe is a really important resource, right, for us to drive the meta forward. Okay, it's a way for us to unify the entire community and ecosystem as a symbol for the meta, right? So I think yeah, I think so. I've always been that's actually my go-to reply, right? You know, for what Jupe is, right? And then yeah, I think Jupe so Jupe is actually currently Jupe is used for voting, right? So as part of the goal, right? As part of the goal for Jupe to be the key token for us to drive the meta. Jupe is currently used used for voting. So anyone can actually stake their Jupe and start voting for key things. For example, LG voting. For example, work groups voting. So it's actually a very important component of it. Like we have this concept for a decentralized launchpad where projects can actually get launched on launchpad. The second thing is work groups. We have a set of like work groups. So work groups are a unique thing in Jupiter. They're basically groups of like ecosystem leaders who have proven themselves in some way or the other, and now wants to kind of be part of the Jupiter ecosystem, right? So to do that, they'll get both for operational budget and a grant, right? Jupe grant. So I think and DAO is actually heavily involved in that. And the third thing that's coming out and stuff is that it's also grants. So it's also Jupiter grants. So DAO will actually be focused on kind of figuring out how do we use the Jupiter DAO treasury to actually drive crypto forward. There's also this thing called active staking reward, right? So it's also ASR is a very unique thing. Okay, again, I think we actually don't just spend a lot of time on product, right? We also spend a lot of time on community initiatives, right? So I think the one key idea behind the Jupe is also something like ASR called active staking rewards, right? Basically, instead of passive staking, which is that instead of passive staking, which is around like you just stake and you're done, right? We don't have that. We have active staking. That means someone has to take the Jupe, stake it, and actually vote, right, in order to get rewards. Yeah, so I think that's actually a very important thing about what we do as well. Yeah, and it's our way to so it's actually right. So in summary, we have an idea called to answer or I think the idea of J for J, J for J, J for J, Jupe for Jupe, right? Yeah. The idea is that we want the key idea is that we really want to kind of like have an extremely synergistic way of getting Jupe into hands of people who contribute to Jupe the most. Yeah. So that's actually the main thing they will do. Yeah. That's the main idea behind Jupe. Yeah. Jupe for Jupe.
Awesome. Sounds really amazing. So so you mentioned that people can stake Jupe tokens now. How can they do that?
Oh, they can go to vote.jupe.ag, vote.jupe.ag. Yeah, to stake and vote. Yeah, we have votes every 1 or 2 weeks. That's going to be a really awesome vote next week. I'm so excited to cover it. And then we also have a weekly planetary call. So every week we do a planetary call, and so we get the whole community together, and we highlight key things that are being voted on and everything. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, saying? Yeah, that's it. So vote.jupe.ag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
vote.jupe.ag. Yeah.
Okay, guys, go on there and stake your Jupe tokens. All right, so just finally, we want to just ask a few questions about milestones and upcoming announcements. So any upcoming announcements or milestones that we should, as a community, pay attention to, and what's next in the pipeline?
Yeah, I think the meta acceleration is a big one, right? Where we kind of like where we tried really, really hard to kind of like put together all. Yeah, so I think we work really hard to kind of put together the because I talked about the vision for a long time already, right, in the meta, and I feel like I haven't. So I think it's the first time that we actually really put the meta into a cohesive presentation and kind of articulate kind of how it need to be done, right? So obviously the first thing is that yes, I think we're going to be, we're introduced the key ideas, GM, GAM, and GDSE. So obviously one of the key announcements that moving forward will be when the launch happens, right? So right now we are in a period of time, right now. I love Crypto Daniels, man. It's funny. So yeah, right now what we're gonna do is that we're going to really talk to community, right? So I'll be hosting a lot of Twitter Spaces and town halls and everything about these three things: the GAM, the GDSE, and the GM. And then we'll learn as a community and ecosystem what to do, right? And then after we're comfortable, then we'll start to actually push it forward, announce it, right? Yeah. So that's one thing. And then that is actually for the meta acceleration stuff. And also, secondly, that we also have a number of like pretty big infrastructure projects we're working on, to actually help make it much easier to do. Yeah. So we're gonna have to watch out for that. We have a number of like really exciting infrastructure announcements as well. And thirdly is that just want to answer questions, OG Crypto Daniel's question on airdrops, is that so we don't really we are quite different from other projects, right? We don't have points. There's no points. There is nothing. There's nothing like that, right? But what we do have that's very unique is Jupilar. Okay, Jupilar. So Jan 31st is the Jan 31st. Jan 31st is that the Jan 31st is the birthday of Jupe, right? It's the day that Jupe got birthed, right? So every year we're gonna celebrate the birthday. You know how we celebrate birthdays every year. So every year we're gonna celebrate every year we will celebrate the birthday of Jupe, okay, by doing Jupilar, right? Whereby and 2 months before that we all prepare for the birthday. We'll all come together to discuss, okay, how much the drop is gonna how much the drop is gonna be, how much drop is gonna be, how much will be released, and what the distribution looks like, and everything and stuff. That's what we call it Jupilar. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, Yeah. So there's no requirements, no nothing, and as everything we do in Jupiter is gonna be community driven, right? So we're gonna come together as a community, and honestly, I feel like airdrops are amazing because airdrops are literally like one of the most important like community things you can do and stuff, or fuck up, right? If fuck up is terrible, right? Right? So I think the way we're gonna do it is that we're gonna have first of all we're gonna have a routine ritual, right? Every Jupilar, how every Christmas, right? Like and every Jupilar, right? We're going to do that. Yep. With community come together. So a couple of months before, the community comes together to decide and understand the exact requirements, and we do together. Yeah.
Sounds like 31st of January would be a really fun party.
It'll be amazing. Yeah. Every January, awesome. Yeah.
Great. So just final question. What is Jupiter's vision? What is the end game and ultimate goal for that Jupiter wants to achieve?
We think that decentralizing finance is really important. Okay. And actually, I'm not talking about decentralized finance as it is now, right? DeFi as it is now, right? I'm talking about decentralizing finance. Okay, it's two different ideas. DeFi is a noun, right? It's what we're using now, right? Decentralizing finance is an active term, right? That means that we need to actively work towards decentralizing finance. Why do I say that? Centralized, I mean, we can talk about crypto all around, right? Blah, 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 all day, every day, blah, 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 right? But honestly, end of the day, finance is still extremely centralized. And extremely, right? So what does that mean? It means that a very, very small group of people controls value creation, right? Like how value is created, how value is distributed, right? How value get used, right? So the entire chain of finance, right? Value creation, like when you create valuable assets, value and value distribution and value usage is controlled, right, by a very, very, very small set of users. Okay, people, right? And what that actually means, right, is that a very, very, very small, and because finance ultimately, right, is and because finance ultimately is the because finance ultimately is how resources get used, it's how resources and attention get used and allocated. What that actually means that a very, very small group of people actually control the global agenda of of what wars to fight, what huge cathedrals to build, or what or who gets all the pork, right? So that's actually or which group friends get the pork. So that's actually a thing that we think is very harmful for the world, right? And the world will never change if finance is centralized. So that's what we think. So we think that the most important thing we can do for the world is to decentralize finance, right? That means that we need to take the key value creation chain and give back to people. Yeah. So actually, that's actually what Jupiter is working on, right? Jupiter wants a world where value creation, where the main bulk of value creation, right, or value distribution and value usage it's not decided and allocated in a centralized way, right? By decentralized way. Yeah. And we think the only way to do that is to really create a world whereby it's create a world where enough people are on decentralized financial rails. Enough people are actually using the daily stuff from the centralized markets, right? And also obviously where the means of production is financed, right, in decentralized financing. Yeah, so I think those are things that we think we think are really important. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I think that's our goal. That's our goal. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so that's all the questions we have.
Zero Pack. The end goal is decentralizing finance, right? Not decentralized finance. Again, very important. Okay. The industry we are today is extremely small, guys. I think just to be clear, I think we look at the 2 thriller, we look at meme coins pumping, and look Bitcoin all-time high, everything's big. No, dude, we're tiny, man. Dude, we're so tiny. Like, no, look, walk around. No one uses crypto. Maybe they heard of crypto, maybe they buy crypto, but they don't use crypto. Okay, imagine a world where everyone's using crypto. Okay, daily. All right. Now that would actually be where game changing comes, right? That's actually when we start to actually have assets that can actually be truly decentralized, markets that are decentralized, and everything, and that's the world towards. Yeah, because without that world, that's actually the reason why, like, guys, if you're watching this, that's the reason why Bitcoin ETFs trigger me, right? Because everyone hyped up Bitcoin ETF, but come on, man. I mean, imagine a world where everyone has a Bitcoin through ETFs. Then what's the point, right? We are like so far. We'll be even further. In fact, Satoshi will probably jump off his grave and say "fuck you" in a second, right? Right. That's kind of where it will be. Yeah. So that's how we think. Yeah. We think it's important to we think in order to decentralize finance, right? We actually need to actually be using crypto. Yes, you are watching. That's why. Then zero G OG Daniel. That's why we're a chance now. Okay, people are watching right now, and that's a chance. But we need to take a step. So we're in the critical. We're in a race now. Okay. Will we continue? Guys, imagine, right? Imagine a world where crypto continues to grow in terms of value, right? So from 2 trillion to 5 to 10, right? But number of people actually using crypto remains the same, right? Low, right? That means there'll be a very, very big gap, right? Between so there'll be a really big gap, between our ability to create valuable virtual assets, right? And our actual real tangible impact on the world. And that's not good. Crypto can't grow that way, right? Where as we grow the quote unquote value, we must also grow usage. Okay, because if you only grow this guy and we don't grow this guy, we have a big problem, because then the world won't. Then eventually it will all break down. Okay, that there's no way you can sustain a $100 trillion industry, right? Without actually people actually really using it. Yeah. So I think that's actually the really important thing. We have the eyes now. Okay, we have the eyes now, but it's not enough, right? We need to be on the hands. Okay, let me say again. We have the eyes now, but it's not enough. We need to be in their hands. Okay, that's important. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Meow, for taking the time to speak with us and share so much valuable information with this group today. But before we say goodbye, are there any final messages that you have for those who are watching?
No, I mean, I love you guys. I mean, for anyone who is for anyone who is like either watching this live or watching this later on, right? And also anyone who is in our Jupiter Discord, anyone who actually have used Jupiter or inside Jupiter or been in our course or inside Jupiter one way or the other, right? I mean, I just say thank you, because honestly, attention is the greatest resource that we have. It's the most scarce resource that we have, right? As individuals, as an industry, and also as people, right? So yeah, I think for anyone who actually whether a token holder or user or a viewer or anything, thanks so much for being here. Right? And please join us. Please join us in Discord. Please join us in the community course. Please join us in the forum. Please join us to vote. Right? Please join us for everything. Right? Yeah. We'd love to see you there. That's all I'll say. Because I think the way to get to the meta will be long and hard. Okay, it'll be long and hard, and we need to be patient, and we need to do it as a community. Yeah, that's all.
Great, thank you, Meow. So you can follow Meow on X on We Are Meow at WEREMEOW, and Jupiter Exchange at Jupiter Exchange on X. So thank you, Meow, for today. For everyone, be sure also to follow crypto.com to stay informed about CoFam. Be sure to follow crypto.com to stay informed about all our upcoming events and announcements. You can follow us on X at crypto.com, as well as our official Telegram channels and our YouTube channel, where this AMA will also remain viewable after today. Alrighty, so thank you everyone for listening in, and thank you, Meow, again for sharing such awesome information with the community and this group today.
Yeah, thank you. And one last shout out to 0x Daniel is that, yeah, I think we're here. I mean, we hope, right? I mean, we try to build for long term. We try, right? And we are 100% committed, right? But the proof is in the pudding, and the pudding we can only tell how, and we will tell if the pudding is there 10 days later, right? 20 days later, we'll see. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So that's a wrap. And well,